Everybody to our call tonight. Thank you in advance for taking time out of your schedule to be with us. We're very excited to be a part of a company that's changing the lives of many people around the globe, and I think you'll be extra appreciative of ever who invited you to this meeting tonight, because they cared enough about you to make sure that you knew about this product company, as well as the opportunity that can be attached to it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen. We have a little presentation to share with you. The name of our company is called Love Biome. That will be our official launch name as of December 1st. You might have heard of Go Love Life. That's how the company got started. But there was a company that called similar name that was on TV, and it confused a lot of the people when they heard about our company. And Go Love Life really didn't explain what we were about. Where the new name of the company will be Love Biome. That will officially be the name that we'll use here in just a few weeks, starting in December 1st. But the important point is that we are the microbiome company. And we want to share a little bit about this company with you, as well as the product, give you some background on the product, so that you can understand why we're all so excited. So probably ever who shared this with you and asked you to be on here tonight, you probably noticed a little enthusiasm in their voice. And it's because no doubt they are already using this product, and we've heard results from people in as little as 2-3 days. Using this product, all because of this thing called a microbiome. I don't know about you, but I never heard of a microbiome before, and we're going to talk about what's called the gut microbiome. I heard of gut before, and gut health. I'd heard some things about that, but I had no idea. And I mean, this has just been an amazing ride, and it's an amazing story, and we look forward to sharing it with you. So as we get started, I want to talk a little bit about the company. It all started for me. I'm going to introduce you to some people that I've worked with for over 20 years. And it was about a year ago now that I started noticing some chatter from these guys, if you will, on emails. I was getting some emails, just talking about the past company that we'd worked with together, and the good lessons learned from it, the good takeaways, and how it was things that you could use in any business. And so it was pretty exciting. But I got probably December 2021, for sure by January, I knew that these guys were planning to do something. And I have such utmost respect for these guys, working with them for over 20 years, that I almost, it almost honestly didn't matter to me what they were doing. I knew it'd be successful. I knew that they were good at what they do. They could have been selling marbles, and I probably would have joined the company just because of the reputation of these three guys and the friendship that I'd had with them. So let me introduce you to them. This is the three founders of the company. The original founders, on your left is Kelly Olson. He's the CEO, founder of the company. In the middle, that's Sean Whitney. He's the president of the Americas. Oh, he's actually the president of the company. And he was one of the three co-founders. And on your right is Cody Day, and he's now the chief operating officer of the company. And so when I heard these three guys, I didn't know what it was, but I was excited because I know these guys' reputation in business. And like I said, the 20-year experience I had with them was very exciting. And I actually emailed back and said, look, I know you guys are up to something, whatever it is, I want in. And so in the middle of January, I got called and asked if I would come out to Utah, where they were having their home office, and learn more about it. And three of them were actually on a Zoom call similar to this, and they invited me to be the very first distributor representative for the company in the world. And I got teary-eyed. I still get a little teary-eyed just thinking about it. What an awesome privilege that I considered that to be a part of this. And now that we're 9 months down the road, 10 months into this company, we actually launched the company February 2nd. I'm over the top excited. Number one, because of what it's done for me and my family and our personal health. But now I'm watching it. We're now in over 32 countries around the earth in 10 months. What do you think did that? A really slick marketing campaign? Really? No, it's the fact that this product, people consume it and they get benefit. So these three guys actually teamed up with some co-founders. These 5 people also worked together with all of us in this company. And together, the 8 of them, myself and many others that are on the call with us tonight, have been together for over 20 years. And the main reason I want to mention that to you is because most people know that a startup company is a bit of a gamble. It's a bit of a risk. And it's because I think the statistics are that 98% of all businesses of all kinds fail within 5 years. So a lot of them go the first 18 months, 60, 70% of them are gone. But within 5 years, they don't make it. You don't have to worry about these guys. Why? Well, because they've already used the similar marketing strategy and built a company that was making well over $300 million a year. And it was in my personal group that I was part of, was over 150,000 people in 22 countries. And we were, just from my organization, was doing $7 million a month. So I was the 5th largest company in Louisville, Kentucky, where I now live. And I had no employees and no inventory. We have your interest yet? It's pretty remarkable. So let's start off by getting you educated a little bit about what the background of this company is. It's about the gut microbiome. And we are called the gut microbiome company for a very legitimate reason. Nobody has a product that's all natural, completely organic, completely vegan, non-GMO, that does what this product does. No side effects, and there are 2 side effects, and make sure I tell you about those before we're done tonight. But there's no adverse side effects. It's not a medicine, and it works. Plain and simple, it works. So let's take just a minute and learn a little bit about the gut microbiome. So if you will, enjoy this video.
Trillions of bacteria, viruses, and fungi live on or inside of us, and maintaining a good, balanced relationship with them is to our advantage. Together, they form the gut microbiome, a rich ecosystem that performs a variety of functions in our bodies. The bacteria in our guts can break down food the body can't digest, produce important nutrients, regulate the immune system, and protect against harmful germs.
How many of you guys know who Hippocrates is? Have you all heard of him? He's an awesome guy, right? 3,000 years ago, he said, all disease begins in the gut. And now that's an idea that's time has come back. It's come around. And so as a clinician, I always look at gut health first, no matter what. If our guts aren't functioning, if our digestive system isn't functioning well, nothing else will.
Well, I'm here to talk to you about what I think is the most important organ, and that is the gut microbiome. So for those of you who don't know what the gut microbiome is, it's everything from your mouth to your colon, from entry to exit, all the bits in between. So your stomach, your small intestine, your large intestine, and all of the little critters that live in there. So bacteria, fungi, viruses, and cells, there are trillions of these little critters that are living in there. And we'll talk about this a little bit more later, but diversity is so important in the gut.
And then, all of a sudden, I started hearing about the good bugs. I thought, what's that? And as we began to look at the actual genetics, this was the breakthrough that allowed us to actually understand our microbiome.
Microbes we acquire or do not acquire affect our likelihood of developing diseases like obesity, diabetes, and even some cancers.
Now, microbes are also really important in the field of medicine. So, for example, what microbes you have in your gut determine whether particular painkillers are toxic to your liver. They also determine whether or not other drugs will work for your heart condition.
As our bodies have been adapting to life in modern society, we're losing some of our normal microbes. And at the same time, there are quite a few diseases related to the gut that are skyrocketing in developed nations all around the world.
So why is it important to have a healthy gut? Well, it's really important for long-term health. So if you have a healthy gut, you're going to feel more energetic. You're going to get sick less often. You're going to have better mental clarity and ultimately have better emotional well-being. Versus if you don't have a healthy gut, a lot of research is showing that this is related to things like autoimmune conditions, diabetes, neurodegenerative disorders like Alzheimer's, and even emotional issues like anxiety and depression.
So microbes are performing a huge range of functions. They help us digest our food, they help educate our immune system, they help us resist disease, and they may even be affecting our behavior.
Our health is severely influenced by many other factors, like our lifestyle, our diet, and our fellow microbes. 100 trillion cells, 1 and 14 zeros, that's the approximate number of microorganisms in your body. 10 times greater than the number of your own cells. Your microbial baggage occupies almost 2% of your body weight. That's about 1.5 kilos. Approximately the weight of your liver or your brain. And all these are microbes. Just think about it for a second. Human microbiome, that's the modern term for all microbial communities inhabiting your body, has earned a close attention over the last decade. It seems that we are only beginning to discover the mysterious role that is given to microbes in the performance of our health.
Our biome describes 90% of all the cells. We're only 10%.
Really, we are more microbial than we are human. So we have 10 times the amount of microbial cells than we have human cells. So that stands to reason that we are bacteria learning how to be human.
It has been already shown in several studies that gut microbiota composition is associated to weight as well as the likelihood of developing diseases like diabetes or cardiovascular diseases.
Like most of life, it's about a balance. And when they are not balanced, we call it a dysbiosis. When that begins to happen, we find that it starts causing diseases. You know the word irritable bowel syndrome. Some of you may actually have it. You know, diarrhea, constipation, abdominal cramps, all these kind of things. You know about colitis. You've heard of people that have colitis. These kinds of things are when there is a dysbiosis. There's an imbalance between the good bugs and the bad bugs.
So I mentioned that microbes have all these important functions, and they've also now, just over the past few years, been connected to a whole range of different diseases, including inflammatory bowel disease, heart disease, colon cancer, and even obesity. Obesity has a really large effect, as it turns out, and today we can tell whether you're lean or obese with 90% accuracy by looking at the microbes in your gut. So that's amazing, right? What it means is that the 3 pounds of microbes that you carry around with you may be more important for some health conditions than every single gene in your genome.
So what are some simple things that you can do to help improve your gut? Well, one, we've talked about changing your diet.
In one recent microbiome study, scientists found that fruits, vegetables, tea, coffee, red wine, and dark chocolate were correlated with increased bacterial diversity. These foods contain polyphenols, which are naturally occurring antioxidant compounds.
And then lastly, targeted supplementation. I'm not saying to take lots of different supplements. I'm saying if there's certain things that your body needs, you might actually take a supplement. So the next time that you're lying on the couch, feeling lethargic and not sure why, or you're sick for the 5th time in a year, listen to your gut.
And if you have happy bugs, you're going to be a healthy person. Thank you very much.
By the way, it's important to note that these snippets that we put together here are available in full length on YouTube. All you got to do is Google them, and we just took these little clips to put them together to try to give you an idea of what the gut microbiome is all about. And as they mentioned, Hippocrates talked about this. So this is 3,000-year-old information out there. Why it's taken so long for us to get it here in the world And now pharmaceutical companies, they got wind of this many years ago. They've been coming up with medicines that all have you've seen the commercials on TV, the disclaimer of the ill benefits or the side effects that you can receive from them is every bit as long as the reason you should be taking them. Who wants to do that? It's a gamble, if you will. So now it's everywhere. In fact, I'm going to share with you now. There was a little clip. My wife and I, we enjoy the Today Show, and one day I'm watching the Today Show, and here's a doctor that's marketing her book about what? Gut microbiome. Check it out.
Time for a gut check, and by that we mean literally what is in your gut. It affects everything from your mood to your immunity to your metabolism.
Dr. Roshni Raj is a gastroenterologist and author of a new book. It's called Gut Renovation: Unlock the Age-Defying Power of the Microbe to Remodel Your Health from the Inside Out. Dr. Raj, I think the gut is something that doesn't get enough attention, and it does affect every part of your body.
Every single part from head to toe. And that's why I wrote this book, because I've always been fascinated by our microbiome, the community of bacteria and organisms that affect everything from head to toe. But there's been an explosion in the last few years on the research on really what are the mechanisms behind it. And then, of course, the last couple of years during a pandemic, all the good habits went by the wayside.
But how can we tell if something's going on there?
Well, you're going to start potentially with some digestive symptoms, right? So bloating or irregularity in the bathroom. But actually, it might be things you might not think about, like brain fog or just feeling tired and listless, not having energy, or just a low mood. Because, like I said, the gut can affect everything from your brain to your energy to your muscles, all.
I'm so happy to be here. You can catch Dr. Raj's book, Gut Renovation, at today.com/shop.
So when this doctor talked about this, she made a comment. Did you catch it? It affects everything from the tip of your head to the bottom of your toes or bottom of your feet. I'm like, yeah, right. Okay. Now you heard what these other scientists said, so you already got a taste. Did you catch some of the very important things they talked about the gut microbiome influences? Well, for fun, and I'm gonna very highly encourage you to make sure you spend a little bit of time doing your own research. And just use Google or Siri and just whatever you can think of. What I did when this doctor said this, I said, yeah, tip of your head, bottom of your foot. I Googled dandruff and the gut microbiome. Yeah, over 1 million hits of how the gut microbiome affects if you have dandruff or not. Wow. So then I Googled the toenail fungus and gut microbiome. Yep, over 1 million pages of hits on that. How the gut microbiome even influences that. When she's saying everything from the tip of your head to the bottom of your feet, she's not kidding. It's everything. The whole reason that we're able to show you all this material, and none of it was generated by our company. This is all information. I have a saying many of you have heard before. It's called documentation beats conversation. Go check it out. You need to understand clearly why this product is so important for you, your family, everybody you know and care about if they have a gut. That's probably pretty much covers everybody, doesn't it? So check out this last little video presentation. This is by a world-renowned heart surgeon is what he was. And then when he started learning the effects of the gut microbiome, he switched his whole practice, and that's what he helps people on. Check this out. This is amazing.
Here are two kinds of nuts. So, what's the difference? On one hand, pistachios are bursting with fiber and minerals and are fantastic for supporting healthy digestion. Almonds also have healthy fats and vitamins, but unlike pistachios, they have a dangerous compound hiding inside them that can cancel out those benefits. See, almonds contain an anti-nutrient called lectins. Just like gluten, lectins can seriously mess up digestion and your absorption of critical nutrients.
Know that there's something wrong. They're eating healthier than ever, and yet they're sicker than ever.
And do you think it's stoppable through diet?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Specifically, my research showed that many of the conditions I was treating, weight gain, poor circulation, deteriorating health, heart issues, even mental decline, they were all starting in a place nobody was talking about, the gut. My first hint that our intestinal tracts were far more important than people thought actually came when I was performing heart surgery back in the 1980s. Back then, I used to see a lot of people with plaque blockages in their arteries from years of smoking cigarettes. But usually, when we were bypassing the blockage, the rest of a smoker's arteries were perfectly clean. But as the years went by, I started seeing fewer smokers and more people with diabetes, high insulin levels, and obesity, which, as you may know, are all correlated with poor gut health. When we performed heart surgery on these people, it was far worse than the smokers' arteries. Their arteries were riddled with plaque blockages. We could barely find a blood vessel that was healthy. The surgeries, while successful, became far more difficult. I couldn't believe it. Literally, people who had smoked cigarettes every day of their lives had healthier hearts than people who were suffering from conditions associated with an unhealthy GI tract. So I began dedicating all of my research to learning everything I could about intestinal health. We all knew that poor intestinal health could lead to digestive discomfort, constipation, irritable bowels, and heartburn. But how could a malfunctioning gut lead to problems with your skin, your weight, your energy, your joints, your heart, and even your brain? Back then, nobody was asking the question. But today, thanks to years of research, we finally have the answer. You see, our GI tracts are very long. In fact, if you stretch your intestines out, they'd have more surface area than an entire tennis court. But they're also very thin. The lining of your intestines is actually just one cell thick, which is basically the thinnest thing that you can imagine. The gut walls need to be this thin because they act like high-tech sponges, sucking up all the nutrients and vitamins from the food you eat and sending the good stuff throughout your body. What's left over becomes food for your gut bacteria, which we refer to as your microbiome. They grow and make more bacteria, and what you deposit in the toilet as poop is, well, mostly loads of living and dead bacteria. So in short, this is how your gut works. You eat food. Your intestinal walls absorb the good stuff from the food, and what's left over gets eaten by your microbiome, which you then get rid of when you go to the bathroom. And when your gut is healthy, these gut walls do their job great, turning food into energy and getting rid of the poop smoothly and cleanly, like a brand new drain pipe in your bathroom. But here's the problem. Because these gut walls are so thin, they can sometimes tear. And certain things are especially good at causing tears. The worst of these are called lectins. Lectins are sharp, nasty little proteins found in certain kinds of food. Lectins, think back to your bathroom now. Imagine you started flushing sharp nails down the toilet. Maybe you could flush one or two and be okay, but if you flushed handfuls of rusty nails for days or weeks, after a while they would scrape little holes in your pipes. Pretty soon, little bits of dirty water will start leaking out of the pipe into your walls, your floors, even your house's foundation. I know, this sounds pretty gross, but you need to hear it, because unfortunately, our GI tracts can develop leaks in the exact same way. This is what I and a growing number of experts now refer to as leaky gut. Lectins and other bad guys tearing holes in your gut lining, allowing tiny particles of poop to leak out into your bloodstream. And once this happens, you can start to see why leaky gut can cause so many health problems. Once they get into your bloodstream, these dirty particles storm across your entire body, like an invading horde. If these toxins get into your joints, they can cause aches and pain. If they get into your skin, they can cause itchiness, redness, acne, and rashes. If they get into your upper GI tract, they can cause heartburn and indigestion. And do you know the worst part? To your brain, all of these terrible things are perceived as attacks on your body, the same as if you have a virus. So your brain goes on high alert to threat level red to stop these attacks, sending white blood cells to fix the problem, which it can do for a while, but your brain just can't stay on threat level red all day, every day. Pretty soon, the cells that protect your brain from attack start to wear down. And when these glial cells in your brain are strained too hard, they actually cause your brain cells to expire. I probably don't have to tell you what happens when your brain cells stop working. Headaches, brain fog, and losing your mental sharpness are just the first signs of damage. But if these toxins are left to rampage through your body for months or even years, the damage can be far, far worse. If the thought of these health issues keep you up at night,
I don't know about you, but they did me, but they don't anymore. And that's really the key. So obviously we wanted to share this with you because we know that we have a very viable, incredible, proven system that helps with this problem. Now, you may be wondering, well, I don't think I have all that. You do. You do. And how do you know? Any of the things they mentioned. Do you have any of those things? Do you have pain? Do you have knee pain? Do you have shoulder pain? Do you have carpal tunnel? Do you have headaches? Do you have a hard time sleeping at night? Do you have a hard time getting to sleep at night? Do you lose energy in the middle of the day or in the afternoon? Feel like you could use a little nap? Then your gut is out of balance. Now, you may not have total leaky gut, but you're on your way. And as you get older, you think it's going to get better on its own. If you don't maintain your car, is it going to evolve and become a bus? Probably not. It's going to deteriorate. And so it's a situation where you have to have a plan. You have to have a system that's going to help your body do what it's designed to do. And this is the solution. It's called our Daily 3. And these two products are called Next. These, and we're going to take these apart a little bit more, dissect them a little bit so you can understand them a little better. But this is not 3 products. This is one program that consists of 3 segments, 2 liquids and a powder. We call it 2 sips and a scoop. 2 sips and a scoop, and you do it every day, and it is amazing the changes that you'll experience. As I mentioned, some people just 2 or 3 days, they're reporting to us that they have changes in energy levels, sleeping better, bowel movements are better, and as the doctor was telling you, that's important to you. I've met people that sometimes only go a time or 2 a week. That's not healthy. That's all that stuff. And I was reading somewhere, and you can Google this as well, that the average person has somewhere between 30 and 50 pounds of waste sitting in their intestinal tract at all times. So you got to get this thing working. You got to get this system working in order to have a better health. So here's the 3 questions that most people ask when it comes to health, and they're pretty much universal. Is there a beginning to good health? Is there one thing that I can do today that'll actually make a difference? Is there one idea that's foundational to achieving optimal health? And we're glad to tell you the answer to it all is yes. Good health starts by addressing this microenvironment that exists in the digestive system. And if you do the research, you'll find out that there are many microbiomes in the human body, including the skin and the hair, for example. The eye has its own microbiome. But the gut is the central of your entire health system. It's the center, if you will, of good health. And so to create the perfect microbiome in the gut requires this balance of these different types of bacteria. Where do you get this stuff? From what you eat. Here's something that was profound when I heard it, and you can write it down because it's gospel. It's what I call a universal law. It's like gravity. I don't care if you believe in it or not. Test it. If you jump off the building, you're coming down. Just a promise, right? So if you're not taking care of your gut microbiome by putting the proper nutrients, the proper things in you that these bacteria need, you're hurting your gut microbiome. So everything you put in your mouth is either going to benefit the biome or you're going to hurt the microbiome. And not using the Daily 3 system is detrimental to your health. You can write that down. That's your universal law. Not using Daily 3 on a daily basis is detrimental to your health. So let's not be negative, let's be positive and show you why this works. Well, there's a geography of plants. You got really 4 sources that are concentrated on the benefit of the microbiome. You got the foods from the garden, remote areas of the earth like superfoods, exotic markets, different grains, textures, spices, teas, herbs, and then you have ancient sources. And this is information from these ancient, these food sources have been used for centuries, actually for a millennium, that they've been used, been proven that help the human digestive system. So when you talk about the garden, the phytonutrients are very dense in these organic foods. And nature's gift is really of light and color. And many people don't realize it, but the color of the foods that you're looking at, the vitamins is what provides that color. The flavor, the different tastes that you taste in these foods is a result of the different minerals that are in those foods. Now you don't have to believe me, but think about it. If you got a food, you've just been served some food, you're at a restaurant, it's a little bland. What do you do to pick it up? You pour some salt on it. What's salt? It's a mineral. Minerals flavor the food. That's the flavor in the foods that you eat. Your vitamins are the color. And you're going to find that these balance of these things are important for the microbiome. So the remote sources that we talked about, this is just a smattering of the superfruits that are found in our liquid supplements. The main core of the fruit, superfruit, was one that was brought to market in 1996, and it's called the noni fruit. The word noni, by the way, if you don't know it, is the botanical name for that particular fruit is called Morinda citrifolia. Noni is a Tahitian word, and the word noni in their language means a gift from God. And so this particular fruit, it literally dates back into the Ayurvedic medical system. Google it. The Ayurvedic medical system is 4,000 years old. So it's a situation where this fruit has been used for literally thousands of years to help people with their health. Matter of fact, when people were migrating from other countries like Sri Lanka into the Polynesian islands, for over 400 years, this particular fruit was known as the canoe fruit. Well, why did they call it the canoe fruit? Because as they were migrating, their little boats and their canoes that they were using to get out and go to spread across the French Polynesian islands, every time they brought this plant with them. And so it was called the canoe fruit. But all these various superfruits that you see here have a benefit when it comes to the gut microbiome. And that's why they're in our products. Now, healing herbs and spices. I've heard of turmeric, and I know how turmeric helps inflammation in the human body. I knew that cayenne pepper had a benefit. I've heard for years about garlic. Matter of fact, I heard a story one time that you can take some garlic and tape it to the bottom of your foot in the morning, your breath will smell like garlic. It's interesting how the body works, isn't it? But I didn't know oregano, mint, basil, and these other things. But, science has proven that they have a benefit for the microbiome. So that's why these products are these programs, and these plants, herbs, and spices exist in our daily 3 system. Then the ancient civilizations, again, here's a smattering of them, but some of the most important ones are the things that are involved. Now, quinoa I've heard of because my wife has been trying to get me to eat that for years, because I have lost a ton of weight now that I'm on the Go Love Life Daily 3 system. And she's been trying to get me to eat quinoa forever. I'm like, I like rice. I like pasta. Well, guess what? You pay for those things, right? And so it's a situation where all these things have a benefit to the gut microbiome, which is the main reason why they're in our product. And of course, color is so important. Why are all these fruits and vegetables all these different colors? Well, I happen to believe it's because your creator made them, and he designed them for who? For me and you, and for living things, animals. We eat these things because it's what keeps us alive and benefits us. But did you know these colors? You heard that doctor say that, he's watched when the clogged arteries as a result of cigarette smoking. It's no longer the issue. Everybody's supposedly eating better. And of course, we hear all about green vegetables, right? But why is diabetes? It's an epidemic. And by the way, you don't catch diabetes. You earn it. I know because I have it. And it's a result of a lifestyle. And it's actually known as the selfish disease. And the reason it's selfish is because I remember myself saying, well, everybody's got to die of something, but I'm not giving up what I eat. So, sad to say, but it's because of what you put in your mouth that makes a difference. But check out these foods. Blue and purple foods, 76% of us don't get the balanced amount, the right amount. Red foods, 74% of it. And look at this chart of the things that these different color foods benefit you. Green, I thought for sure more of us were getting the green foods, right? All the things you hear about, every diet you see is about eating green leafy vegetables. 69% of us don't get enough of it. And the orange and yellow foods, 80% of us don't get enough of those. Well, Daily 3 straightens all that out for you. Now, we also have learned a new science, and this is proprietary to our liquid supplements. It's called red light fermentation. And that we found that when you ferment noni, turmeric, and some of these other products or produces, and you subject it to red light fermentation, it increases the thing that you heard that one scientist talk about called the polyphenols. And the polyphenols, because of the penetrating power of this red light, actually increases it by 25%. And so even though noni was brought to the world in 1996 by a company, now it's a situation where you and I have the opportunity to get noni perfected, because the use of red light fermentation even makes the polyphenol rate in this fruit even more to benefit the gut microbiome. Well, is this stuff safe? Well, look at this. It's formulated, pure and simple, globally sourced from all over the earth. Where all these products that we've showed you, wherever they grow the best, that's where we go to get them. Now, you can imagine that's not very cheap, right? So it's a situation, but it's worth it. Some things that, I don't know about you, but I had a gentleman that was probably 15, 20 years older than me, and he told me, he said, Mike, let me tell you something. The older I get, I'm willing to spend a whole lot of money to feel just a little bit better. And I got to tell you, now that I'm kind of where he was when he told me that, age-wise, same way. You're willing to spend more to make sure that you do what you can to have good health. So here's the ingredients of our three products. I'm going to show you the balance liquid, and I'm going to show you the detox, and then the powder. But just very briefly, look at what's in this next balance liquid supplement, and look at the things that it can help you with. And then look at the next detox. Again, all formulas. And by the way, when the guys were doing their research to come up with this Daily 3, there are over 400 fruits, vegetables, herbs, teas, and spices that they knew had a positive effect on the gut microbiome. Now, our phytopower is unbelievable, because it not only has all the four of the things that you saw for the missing colors, but it also has a digestive microbiome complex of the right enzymes. And did you know that noni fruit has every beneficial amino acid known to man? And that noni juice has already been approved throughout the earth. The hardest country to get it approved in was the UK, because the European Union, they are very, very tough to get a product in there. Matter of fact, the law firms and everything and the scientists we had to hire to get it approved there, they actually said that if orange juice was just now coming on the market, it probably wouldn't have been approved in the European Union. It's that strict. But this product has been proven that it's completely safe that a newborn infant can consume up to a liter of it a day. And I can tell you, I have a 2-year-old grandson, and when his mom and dad make it in the morning, they've now learned to just make 3, because he's stealing one of theirs. And he loves it. And the fact that it's helped his health so much, it's incredible. So out of the 400, they had to figure out, they've learned that some of these vitamins, or some of these fruits, vegetables, spices, they counteract each other when you put them all together. So we actually have figured out that 96 of them, when you put them together, they work symbiotically in the human body to benefit the gut microbiome. Now, here's what was exciting to me, because I was clearly expecting, I was spending a whole lot of money every month on supplements, and I was like, oh boy, this stuff, 96 different fruits, vegetables, herbs, spices, globally sourced. The red light fermentation, oh my goodness, what I got to do, mortgage my house to get some of this stuff? Well, believe it or not, retail, if you want to pay full price, you're welcome to. It's $185. Now, there would be some tax. If you live in a state like Kentucky, they charge tax on food, and then we got to ship it to you. So it'd be a little bit more than that. But you can actually, if you notice on the slide, you can get it on a subscription basis. And you know how everything these days, they want a subscription, they give you a break. So to get it at the best price, $155, and that's for a month's supply. And you then again, a little bit of tax, a little bit of shipping and handling, and you don't have to worry about none of this stuff anymore. Do it once a day. I just mix all 3 of them together, put it in a little cup, shake it up, because the powder is like powdered sugar. It just blends very, very easy. You just got to shake it up a little bit with those 2 liquids. I just drink all 3 together and get it over with, because I'm not real good at dividing things out. But here's what's important: get it in you. Really doesn't matter how you do it, just get it in you. So hopefully this helps you out. Thank you for attending with us tonight. Yeah, want any additional information, just get back with the person that invited you. So we appreciate you coming and spending time with us. So next, what we're going to do, if you'd like to stay with us, please do. You're more than welcome to. But a lot of people like to hear about some of the results. What is this doing for people? And we are learning from a lot of people. There's some pretty fantastic experiences that we're getting. So I'm just going to share a few with you from a meeting that I was privileged to attend back March 26th of this year in Orlando, Florida. And here's some of the things that you hear myself and some other people, some of the benefits that they've gotten from Go Love Life.
About the microbiome, your gut.
Although I knew about gut health, it just sealed within me the importance of gut health and why we have to have a healthy gut to maintain our daily lives.
I found out what is the importance of it all. The importance of it all with that gut microbiome.
And learning about the gut microbiome, now I know the gut does affect a lot of things, but knowing how much it affected the different aspects of my life was the eye-opener for me.
I've always heard the term over the years, healthy gut, but I didn't really know what that was. Well, now I know that so many times over.
About how the actual bad bacteria versus your good bacteria can actually cause damage.
Personally, the energy part is what I love.
My energy levels are up. Notice I don't need the amount of sleep that I used to need. I'm able to function pretty well at 6-7 hours a night.
I have low energy during the day, so the Fighter Power itself gives me a boost. I take it midday, so when I take it midday in my smoothie, it keeps me going because I normally will fall asleep halfway through my workday. So now, taking the Fighter Power gives me that boost to carry through my day.
The actual balance gives me a lot of energy to where I want to cut grass and I shouldn't be doing that.
The products have given me an ease inside myself. My gut feels good. I don't have any bloating. I'm just happy because, and my whole being is happier.
I want to tell you the most important thing is I feel more calm and relaxed. It's helped other things. I feel more calm, relaxed. I go about my duties during the day. I'm focused on them, more clear, and that's very, very important to me.
The detox, it helps me at night, to relax, because I do stay up long hours, waiting on a phone call from a team member or something, but it helps me to lay down and relax myself.
I spoke to my barber, and I'm actually, hair follicles that were dead are starting to regenerate, and so hair is starting to regrow. And I'm excited about that.
I would tell them to Google whatever issue they have going on in their health. Just what I learned today. Just go in and Google gut microbiome and that issue. Whether it's Alzheimer's, diabetes, pain, whatever it is. That's what I would recommend they do, because then they're going to come back to me and want the product.
Don't hesitate. Test the products. Become a product of the product. And once you do that, you'll want to share with everyone you know and that you love.
This is an opportunity to where you coming home and you don't have to leave. You don't have to worry about nobody knocking on your door saying, hey, you're in the wrong business. No, I'm not. I'm at home now.
When people ask me, well, what is it that you do? I say, well, I'm fortunate enough to work with a company that imports 96 exotic fruits, vegetables, herbs, and grains throughout the world. And it's a situation where these ingredients are all designed and harvested from all over the world to help with your gut.
If you have any aspects of your life that's affected mentally, physically, spiritually, if you look at going through your day, something's wrong. Look to your gut and see how your stomach feels in the middle of the day, in the morning, in the evening. Try the product for 30 days and see what's the difference between the first month and the second month. And you will definitely see there's a difference, and it connects. Little things in your life will change slowly and steadily, but it will change.
Get off the fence and just do it. It's the one thing that can change your life.
And Go Love Life That's what we doing. We going and we loving our life. And that's the end of that.
So as you can see from that, it's pretty diverse changes that you see that people get to experience that are all phenomenal. So my own story, we'll finish up with that. And I think you'll agree that the most important story you'll ever hear is yours. Because when you see the way this can change your world, it's amazing. And to think it's been around for 3,000, 4,000 years, and we're just now learning about it. But to be at the apex, to be at the front, to be at the top when something like this is a new era that we're finally figuring out how to help this stuff. This is a picture of my house of the supplements that I was purchasing on a monthly basis from Amazon Prime. $250 a month. So it was no big deal for me to throw these in the trash, quit doing it. It easily pays for my daily 3 system. But here's the other things that were going on with me. If you'll notice the date on this test, is I was scheduled for a regular checkup, if you will. And this was dated back on November 23rd, so we're almost 1 year away now, of 2021. So I wasn't using Go Live Life yet. But I went in and look at, this was a particular enzyme. It scared the doctors. They were really fearful for me because look what the standard range is, 12 to 64. Mine was 1,379. So they were a little nervous for me. Same visit. This is more blood work that was done. Look at everything was out of line. These enzymes, they were going random. It was bad. It was really bad. And then what they had me on for medications back then, I was taking metformin twice a day, 1,000 milligrams. I've since learned that some people think that's to lower your blood sugar. It is not. That particular medicine is designed to protect your vital organs from the damages that diabetes can cause. Carvedilol is a blood pressure medicine, try to help keep blood pressure down. I've had 2 heart attacks. I now have 7 stents in my body. Lisinopril is also a blood pressure medicine. The hydrochloroside is also blood pressure medicine. And prasugrel is a blood thinner. And it's designed because I have 7 stents. They don't want to take a chance of my blood clotting in those stents. So that's the purpose of that. Atorvastatin is a cholesterol medication. I'm happy to let you know that those have all been drastically reduced by the doctor. I didn't do it. They told me to quit taking a lot of them. I'm now actually, it still takes some metformin. The carvedilol is down to the minimum, which is 3.25, I believe. Lisinopril, gone. I don't have to take any more at all. The hydrochloroside, gone. I don't have to take any more at all. The prasugrel currently is 10 milligrams, but I'm now been informed I need to go back to the heart doctor. That needs to come down some. But they have told me, look, you'll probably be on that forever because we can't get rid of the stents and they don't want to take a chance of your blood clotting. And the atorvastatin, my brain just shut down. For the cholesterol is now 20 milligrams and not 80. In addition to that, now I was taking up to 80 units of insulin a day, both the R and the N. The R is the rapid release and the N is nighttime and slow release. I'm happy to report to you that now my doctor has actually told me that if I was just coming to the doctor for the first time, they wouldn't even call me a diabetic. I got excited about that. I said, oh, I'm not a diabetic. She said, no, sorry, you're still a diabetic. But soon you probably won't be taking any more insulin at all. Most days now, at the max, I'm about 12 units instead of 80. And then in addition to that, I started at the end of January on Go Live Life. Now, I almost died again because my blood sugar dropped so low, the ambulance had to be called. I had to go to the emergency room. Look at this is now, notice the date on this. This was May 2nd, 2022. So I started drinking Go Live Life really for all intents and purposes the 1st of February and the 1st of May, right? So March, April, May. 3 months later, my blood sugar is dropping so bad, but I wasn't doing what I'm supposed to, which is check my blood sugar multiple times a day. I usually did it in the morning when I got up, and most of the time before I went to bed, I'd check it again. But I was shooting insulin up to 80 units a day, just like I always have been for 15 years. Why would I think it'd change? Well, my gut microbiome was balancing, and so I didn't need all that insulin anymore. And it almost killed me because they said that you could die when your sugar hits 40 milligrams. I was at 34 the day I went to the emergency room. So this was the comments that the doctor left from that May 22nd visit. They said my liver enzyme was completely normal. So needless to say, that was pretty good news. Then this was the first time they started cutting some of these medications. And then I went back again, I believe it was June or July. And so that's where I'm cut down to the numbers on the medications that I just told you. So it's changed my life, simple to say. So the message that we have for you is real simple. Is there one thing that you can do every day to achieve optimal health?